I'm interested to see how this goes. I'm very interested to see how this goes. So, Charlie generally is very, like, liberally progressive, and usually has, like, baseline gamer takes on things. So it's going to be Charlie talking about what's been going on with ICE. Let's see what his take on this is.
We're talking about something very serious today. Throughout the video, you're going to see my shirt changes. It's not some kind of, like, crazy, wacky, magic trick from America's Got Talent or anything. I actually filmed this video earlier this morning when the story first broke. It's the killing of Alex Preddy in Minnesota at the hands of border agents. And I made the video, but I was pretty heated and I wanted to kind of simmer down and take a break, so I went out before posting it. I just got home, and now even more angles and videos have been released that show beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is a 100% unjustified killing of an American citizen here. And it seems like the execution stems from...
So, I'm going to say this. When you've lost Charlie, you've lost the normie opinion. I've seen Asmongold's audience try to argue that, like, Asmongold is the opinion of the average male American, the average normie. No, it's Charlie. Charlie is you're not political, but if he says something, you probably are in his ballpark somewhere. That said, let's go ahead and continue.
Them finding out that he had a gun on his person, his Second Amendment rights. In all of the videos that exist, there is not a single moment where he is reaching for the gun, brandishing it, threatening with it, or anything at all, and we have video that shows the entire interaction from start to finish. His name was Alex Preddy, a 37-year-old nurse who worked in the ICU at Minneapolis VA healthcare system, and according to the police chief, he is a U.S. citizen with no prior interactions with law enforcement outside of a couple of traffic tickets, and believed to be a lawful gun owner with a permit to carry. So for him to lose his life being shot multiple times by these agents, all because of him exercising his Second Amendment rights, which again, he wasn't trying to use as an intimidation tactic on the officers or anything like that. When they were beating him on the ground, pistol whipping him on the ground, they happened to see that he had a gun, apparently. He wasn't throwing it at them as like a threat or something, or brandishing it or anything. He simply had it on him, which he was well within his right to do, and he got murdered for it. This is completely unacceptable, and the fucking drones that are somehow like parading around like this is some kind of victory or something is sickening. It should be viewed as treasonous by any real Americans when you see this footage.
I don't know if I'd use the word treasonous. I understand where he's going for. He's using it as a stand-in for this is a bad thing, but it's not so much treason so much as it is the authoritarian powers that be using their authority in the worst fucking way possible. Like, I've made my opinions on ICE clear before. It is an organization that did not exist pre 9/11, and like with the fucking TSA, I don't know if it has a fucking purpose, honestly. We had the ability to enforce our borders before it existed. We don't need it the fuck now.
And they had the gall to say that Alex Preddy was like the instigator, labeling him a domestic terrorist I saw from a couple of places, claiming that he approached these agents with a 9mm. He approached them with a gun looking to start shit. But that is not...
Yeah, but by approach with a gun, they mean... He had a gun, and he also approached them, which anybody who's exercised their Second Amendment right ever in the world has done. They've had a gun and approached somebody. That's like if I went to a card shop, and I just happened to be, I just happened to be carrying that day, and the card shop owner said, "Oh, Suris approached me with a gun." Like, yeah, technically that's a true statement, but when you use that verbiage, as I pointed out in my video, when you use that verbiage, you are doing it solely to elicit a response from people. You are trying to get an emotional response from people because it is a statement that doesn't tell you everything about the situation. Fucking Charlie is correct.
True. In all of the videos you see, he has a phone in his hands. Not a gun in his hands, he has a phone in his hands. No sane person would ever mistake a phone for a gun. This is blatantly obvious what they're trying to do. And it's something they've been doing a lot recently. Trying to tell you that what you're seeing isn't real. Trust their words, not your eyes. That is completely fucking outrageous, and people are willingly doing it. That's the craziest part. There are people that are like, oh, I saw he had his phone, but if they say it was a gun, well, that must have been a gun. I cannot believe we've reached this level of brainwashing. There are so many angles of this, and
I can believe it, but I've also been reporting on it for fucking years. It is scary that American citizens can look at... It's like what happened with George Floyd. Do you remember when George Floyd died and, like, everybody saw the footage and everybody could see what the fuck happened with Derek Chauvin, and yet there were still people who tried to go, oh, well, he was hyped up on fentanyl. That's what happens when you get on the fent. Like, fuck off. Doing a drug does not mean suddenly your life is forfeit. You idiot, you asshole. And that's the same shit that I've been seeing in regards to this. People going like, oh my god, look, he's given money to the Democrats before. That means he deserved to die. Oh, look, he approached an ICE officer with a cig that could have gone off accidentally, could have discharged accidentally. That means he should die. Like, no. No. Absolutely fucking not.
in every single one of them, you can see he has his phone in his hand, and at no point during this interaction did he ever, like, pull a gun on them or anything. And in fact, in one of the angles, you can even clearly see that the agents actually took the gun from him prior to him being shot. You can actually see what looks to be one of the agents disarming him, taking the gun out of its holster and running away with the gun prior to him being shot.
Yep, you'll see the ICE officer here in a second. Walk away with it. It's the guy in the front, right? That guy, yep, there's the gun right there. Officer took the gun, ran away with it. That's the SIG. We've all seen pictures of the SIG. We know what it looks like.
If that wasn't definitive, there is something even more clear that I think is completely irrefutable for anyone that's actually looking. An agent takes Alex's gun out of its holster in front of the agent that pulls out his gun and shoots him. So he can see the gun has been taken out of the holster. And it is clear Alex Brady has both hands on the ground. He does not have a gun in them. And an agent reaches in and takes it out of the holster right before another agent pulls out his firearm and shoots him in the back.
Honestly.
That's why we do the whistles, by the way. It lets everybody know that's where ICE is. That's why the whistles are happening. It lets people know where they are because this is what they do. ICE has demonstrated that when they have the ability to, they will just fucking murder people if it means that they will achieve whatever their goal might be at the time. It is an ideology of pure... Like they operate under an ideology of convenience. The laws only matter to them if they are convenient for them to give a shit about.
Just in case you somehow missed it, look, the agent in gray has his hand on Alex's weapon, which is still holstered. It was never unholstered. This agent takes it out of its holster before he runs away with it, and the officer right next to him is the one that pulls out his gun and shoots him. And now I want to show you the clearest video that shows everything that happened here.
Is it the one from the girl in red? The one where she's at the on the building side of things?
And how it doesn't go how the authorities are saying that it did.
Yep, I think this is the one. K-Fox, you're gonna have to cut the whistles. At least lower them down. Yeah, this is the one that
was Alex Pretty you saw walk by the camera right there. He has his phone in his hand, and then with his other hand, his open hand, no gun in it, is waving cars through. There is clearly no brandishing of a firearm here. He is not approaching agents with a gun or anything like that, and you will never see anything even remotely close to that happen.
Go. Oh, what the fuck is wrong with you?
By the way, these are your First Amendment rights. You are allowed to do all these things. Anybody that tries to tell you that you're not allowed to do these things, that you're not allowed to record, that you're not allowed to whistle, that you're not allowed to yell, make noise, cause good trouble, anybody that tells you you're not allowed to do those things, that person is an authoritarian. That person does not like freedom. That person hates the idea of you having rights. That person despises the idea that anybody around them might have rights, because they argue so vehemently against them. Sakura says, or they're an imbecile. There is no difference to me anymore in that regard. If you are an idiot, or you are a person that does not want people to have their rights, if your actions are the same either way, you enable the exact same people. It's like Poe's law. I don't hold a distinction between Poes and actual, like, true blue believers. I don't. Because I find them to be equally harmful.
In this section, you can again see Alex Preddy has his phone in his hand, and now he's trying to get some of the civilians away from these fucking worms that are now starting to push them. And then one of them got pepper sprayed, and then he got pepper sprayed as well. And when he gets pepper sprayed, you can see his hand shoots in the air like a student about to try and ask the teacher a question. It is a wide open palm, there's no weapon in that hand, and in his other hand is still the phone. There is no gun anywhere here. And now this is when he starts getting beaten by the multiple officers there.
Every single one of those officers, by the way, every last one of them should not only lose their jobs, but they should be tried to the fullest extent of the law. 100%. They should not have access to being able to operate and walk around as normal citizens, the same way any other common felon should. They have engaged in felony murder. We should treat them like they engaged in felony murder. This is also, by the way, why they hide their faces. Melody says, good luck identifying them, though. Yeah, you're right. The reason why ICE hide their face the way they do is because they do not want to have to be accountable to their own actions. I understand why somebody would want to use a mask when they are engaging in something like more vigilante-oriented, because you're trying to protect your identity so that you don't get attacked by the authorities. But when you are part of the authorities, and you are engaging in the exact same fucking behavior, when you are masking the exact same way, then I'm sorry, you do not have... Like, you should have the protection of the United States government, right? You should be fine. But they know they're not. They know they're not.
The fuck, people! The fuck is wrong with you? Honestly!
I'm gonna stop the video right here because this is when Alex Preddy gets shot to death. This fucking subhuman coward, you can see, pulls out his firearm and shoots him in the back, and then shoots him multiple times after as Alex Preddy lies on the ground. You can hear one of the agents says, gun, and that's when this brain-dead troglodyte pulls out his firearm and starts shooting into Alex while he was still surrounded by his boys, mind you. This is like the antithesis to all training that agents go through, by the way, to shoot into a suspect while still being surrounded by authorities. You're going to get your own people shot too, by the way, you fucking moron, you unbelievable homunculus. So he...
Fucking go, Charlie. Go off. I think the only, like, disagreement I've had with most things on his channel was when he did his whole, like... When he did his video about getting politics out of games. When he was doing the same, like, Gamergate bullshit, which I haven't heard him really do since then. Not because of me, but just I haven't heard him make that take as much. Yeah, no, fucking go off, Charlie.
Immediately starts dumping into Alex because someone said gun. But the gun, from the other angles we can see, had already been taken away from Alex, out of his holster. You can see one of the other agents running away with it. But again, he was never brandishing this firearm, and as an American citizen with Second Amendment rights and a lawful gun owner by all available information, he was allowed to have that gun on his person. It is not grounds to execute a man because you fucking freaked out and panicked because the guy you were beating and pistol whipping with fucking 5 of your friends happened to be armed. He wasn't using it to try and like shoot anyone here or threaten them. They saw the gun, and then this guy just freaked out and murdered him. Shot him multiple times. This is indefensible. Completely indefensible. And the fact that they even took him to the ground in the first place and started beating him, with one guy pistol whipping him, by the way. In other angles, you can see a guy just like pistol whipping him like he's trying to hammer a nail in with his gun. Like, it should have never even been acceptable for that to happen. All Alex Preddy was doing was filming, and then when some civilians started getting pushed, he tried to help. And when one got pepper sprayed, he tried to help. From all available angles and evidence and videos here, it seems to be that's all he was doing. He even made an effort to try and show that he's not like a threat or something. Like, he threw his arm in the air, wide open, nothing in his hand or anything. He wasn't fighting back against the officers. He got taken to the ground and then immediately started getting beaten. Like, all because he was fucking filming and trying to help other people around there, it seems. This is so fucking sickening. And the freaks that are cheering this on and parading around like this is something to be celebrated are just scum. You're not even American. You're a fucking drone if you actually think this is a good thing. All you care about is just like sucking wiener from the authorities now all of a sudden. You care more about just being on a team than you do thinking for yourself. It's fucking tragic. It is embarrassing. This is crazy now that I'm seeing people justify this guy's murder because he had a weapon. Wake the fuck up. This is America. You can carry weapons. I sometimes carry a gun in public. I have friends who every day carry. It is your right as an American to carry a firearm if you so choose. That is not grounds for a murder. And based on all of the video footage, all of the available evidence, this guy was not brandishing it or anything like that. Thus, he wasn't threatening anyone or about to shoot someone with it, so they had to kill him to stop him. That doesn't seem to be the case. They're now just using the fact that he had a gun as a justification to kill him. That should be extremely alarming to anyone who cares about 2A.
You know what's wild to me, too? The fact that you can see on places like fucking Facebook, you can find people who are going, but he resisted. He shouldn't have resisted. He shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have done that. I bet I can find one in under 5 minutes. Hold on. Boy, that was quick. And just scrolling through my Facebook, ICE did not shoot an unarmed woman. ICE did not arrest a 5-year-old. ICE did not shoot an unarmed man. To say they did makes you a liar. Jesus fucking Christ. This looks like a rage bait movie. I'm confused. Is this a joke or not? Except there's a video. Whoops. Video can be challenging. In the video of Alex Preddy, there are quite a few shadows in the videos, and some fabricate a weapon out of a shadow behind Preddy's hand. Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. Said ICE won't reward that ID 10 error? You'd hope not. Yeah, it didn't take me very long at all to find that.
Like, again, him having it should not be an issue. And any real, actual American, like a real patriot, should be arguing for his right to carry, because it is something that we...
I mean, I'm not only going to argue for his right to carry, I'm going to argue for his right to live. Because both of them were stripped away from him. ICE did not shoot an unarmed man. I mean... Correct. You got the technically correct. And I know somebody's going to say, that's the best kind of correct. Shut the fuck up, you moron. No, stop quoting Futurama. I think it was Futurama. I don't fucking care. Stop it. I don't fucking care. You're a moron. You're an idiot. People who keep using that quote every time you say that. Stop. You are not helping. You are, in fact, being a fucking problem.
Have the right to do, and that should not be a justification for this man being killed by these agents. This point that they're trying to beat into the empty minds of a lot of people that are trying so hard to justify it is that the only people being arrested and targeted by ICE are rapists and pedophile illegal aliens, which is just not...
Actually, technically you are correct. He was unarmed when they shot him, though. He wasn't armed at that point anymore. Mion and Stankfoot, thank you for subscribing. I said happy Monday. I don't know if I'd say Mondays are very happy. I'll take it.
The case. There definitely have been rapists and pedophiles that have been snatched up in all of this. And those rapists and pedophiles that have been caught and taken away, that's good. They shouldn't be out there breathing the free air. Great. But that's not all that's happening here. You could also right now march into the White House and arrest everyone in the White House, and you would get a ton of rapists and pedophiles. Why isn't that happening? If the goal is getting rapists and pedophiles off of American soil, thrown in the slammer, taking them away from society, why is it only just walking through the fucking streets of Minnesota trying to do it?
That's a good point. If we care so much about that, why did we all collectively forget about the Epstein files? Like, all at once, just everybody just is no longer worried about it at all. The fact that we have a pedophile rapist as a president suddenly became something that Republicans were all cool with. And that's just weird to me. I think that's strange. I think that's really weird behavior. Really fucked up behavior. If I'm being 100% honest. Jesus.
Would get significantly more rapists and pedophiles if you took ICE and brought them to the White House. An administration is actively covering up a massive child sex trafficking operation and letting tons of evil people get away with this, tons of clients. So if the goal is to get this kind of evil out of this country, why would you not start with what is provably a spot that has so many of them? Also, that belief of like a secret pedophile ring was a very popular one among Trump voters.
Yeah, that was the QAnon shit. That was the QAnon shit.
Longest time, and now that it has been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt to be real, legitimate reality, they are now just ignoring it. They have been proven correct that there was a huge pedophile ring of these powerful politicians, but because some of their favorite politicians are potentially wrapped up in it, they just want to drop it and forget about it. Absolutely unhinged, by the way. It's crazy. So many people for the longest time were adamant against like government surveillance and Big Brother watching them being a huge concern.
Yeah, they care about it being Big Brother until they realize he's part of the family.
Now, plenty of people are welcoming it with open arms and a huge smile on their face. For the longest time, people would be preaching about the importance of the Second Amendment and gun rights. And now, even with this, they're saying, well, he had a gun, which means that's an executable offense. So it seems like they now no longer believe in Americans' right to own guns or carry guns, which was a core component of like the right for a long time, where there was like this big fear about they're coming for our guns. And now the same people that were arguing like to protect that are now arguing against it, saying, well, this guy deserved to die because he had a gun with him. It's a fundamental right of Americans to have guns, gun ownership. You can carry them in public, too. Like that, you shouldn't be killed for that. And in the footage here, it doesn't seem like he was brandishing it or anything. And also, the same people that only like a year and a half ago were constantly telling you to question the government, that you can't trust anything that comes out of the government, the authorities always lying to you, are now just willingly, blindly, unquestioningly following anything authorities tell them to believe in, and shut out any and all thought and just have the hive mind think for them. It is crazy because it seems like the only actual belief of some of these fucking brainwashed drones is relentless cock gobbling. All they want to do is swallow boots and penis from the government. So if the administration or the news, which they used to hate the news, but now that the news just parrots points from big government that they like to clap their hands at like seals, they now just trust all of it all of a sudden, even though there's been no big change with these mainstream media outlets, by the way, that they used to not trust only a year and a half ago. But now, anytime they hear something from the news or anything that comes from the government...
I don't know if that one... So, I understand where he's getting at, but whenever somebody says, like, the news can't be trusted, usually they're talking about CNN or MSNBC. Usually they're talking about them because they make some weird, like, brain delineation between CNN and Fox News. Because they're like, well, one of these, the more popular one, that one's the real news. That one's the real news. But the CNN one, that one's the fake news. That's usually what I've seen. So I don't know if holding them to task on that one is super fair, only because I don't think that one's the actual belief. Soccer says Fox can't be trusted on most things. New York Times can't be trusted on trans issues. Most UK media can't be trusted on trans issues. Yeah, you're right. I'm not saying that the media itself is generally trustworthy. What I'm saying is like the particular argument that, well, they used to say don't trust the news. When they said that, they usually meant a particular kind of the news. And that's stupid in its own right. But I want to be as fair as I possibly can here.
Government, they will just immediately accept without a second thought and then attack anyone else that is saying differently, or even just probing them to maybe think a little bit more about the narratives. Keep in mind, the government themselves are currently not even complying with their own laws that Trump has signed, like the Epstein Transparency Act, where the DOJ is still putting up a fight and are over a month late to compliance with releasing the Epstein files. They are still fighting tooth and nail to not release them. And
yeah, pedophiles are going to fight tooth and nail to keep doing the pedophiling. They're going to call it a filing error. Hey, pedophiling error.
Even recently, only a week ago, outright said maybe there's no court that can force them to order this. They didn't even say maybe. I gave them a very charitable thing right there. They actually said courts can't force them to do this, and that if they don't comply, there's nothing anyone can do. They can't be sued. If the DOJ doesn't comply, go fuck yourself, pussy. That's basically their sentiment. They are not complying with their own fucking laws. And
fuck you, liberal. I'm gonna fuck as many kids as I want. And you can't stop me. No court in the world is gonna be able to stop me. The fucking conservative side of the government right now. Then again, at the same time, there's probably a non-zero amount of Democrat politicians in there that are also pedophiles, and I kind of wish the worst for them too. Not kind of, I just kind of want it to happen. Alex Jones wants the frogs gay. Well, of course Alex Jones wants the frogs gay. If the frogs are gay, Alex Jones has something to talk about. If the frogs aren't gay, Alex Jones has nothing to talk about. His channel doesn't exist if the frogs aren't gay. He needs the frogs gay, or at least you to think the frogs are gay, so he can make money off of you watching him freak out about it.
Yet people are still willing to overlook that in order to just keep playing for the same team. It's like it's a competition to see who can think the least and who can regurgitate enough from the hive mind to be the biggest super fan of their side. It's fucking despicable. It's actually crazy. This is real sheep behavior. I know a lot of these people like to say sheep, sheep, sheep for the longest time, but now they are actually the epitome of that. Here's just a little thought experiment if you can break through the programming for a second. Imagine what's happening in Minnesota was happening under Obama or Biden, where...
I've seen this thought experiment, the one where it was Biden and the FBI instead of Trump and ICE.
There were masked agents that were constantly surveilling you, and even at times asking for your papers, your documents to prove you're an American citizen, constantly needing to provide your private information to these masked agents. And these agents also had killed 2 American citizens. What do you think your response would be? Would you be like, oh yes, please, everyone needs to comply with this. This is good. This is what I want. This is what I look for in Obama or Biden. This is what I'm happy about. Would you be as excited then as you are now in that scenario? My guess would be probably not, because you would rightfully view this as an infringement on your rights as an American. Your Second Amendment right, where apparently even carrying a gun now is a crime punishable by death. This isn't something anyone should be championing for, but because it's become such a team-focused sport, people delude themselves into thinking that they have to support this, and thus they...
Yeah, fucking Republicans are Packers fans. That's what they are. They are fans of whatever the team they think they should be in, and they will, they'll look at the stats every now and again, but generally they just want to be able to cheer whenever they get a win, instead of thinking about the implications of that.
They will abandon all of their beliefs in order to stay on this side. It's crazy to me. I truly don't even know what the solution here is, because people are just willingly, on their own accord, no longer trusting what they see and what they know to be true. They would rather just have the government tell them what to think and what's true. So that way they don't have to do any level of thought for their own. How do you fix that? I genuinely do not know. I have no idea. I don't know how you can watch this footage.
It's weird. So like, okay, if you're a patron of mine, and I'm just going to go ahead and plug it right now. If you want to support what I do on my channel, generally where I try to talk about these issues that matter to me, then my Patreon's right there. Please support me in what I do. I appreciate that. But on Patreon, I actually made a video complaining about this very thing. And I think that might have been the one where I wasn't able to get the audio to work, so I had to make another video and I forgot all my points from the original one. But one of the videos on my Patreon was literally me going like, how do you try to convince people who appear to exist in a different reality than you? How do you convince those people that something is wrong? Because those people generally don't, like, they're not engaging in the same version of reality as you, and it's agitating. Like, you've got to try, because every human being has the capacity for change. You've got to try, but holy shit, does it feel futile sometimes.
In multiple angles of this situation, and still come out trusting the government's word on the series of events that unfolded, when you can yourself watch the footage and prove them false. What do you do to someone that just refuses to at least try and see things clearly? I don't know, but it's fucking tragic, and it's only getting worse. It is so fucking out of control. I had to yap about this. I've been actually fuming all day. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't have words. I don't have words other than I agree. I mean, I probably have a few other words. I'm a verbose narcissist on the internet. I can find other words. The other ones that would come to mind are, Jesus fucking Christ. I need to see what Asmongold is saying about this. I've got to see. I have to know. Because that dude has been doing bootlicking so goddamn hard. Where do you guys think he's going to be? Where do you guys think he's going to be on this one? Where do you guys think he's going to be on this one?
So this is what's happening last night in Minnesota. Here we go. Look at this.
You got it?
And you can see this is the Bureau of Prisons, right? This guy isn't even ICE. He doesn't have anything to do with immigration. But because he's a federal officer, he gets sent out there and he has to defend this. Now, if you're a prison officer, honestly, 'tis just a flesh wound, right? Like, let's be honest. But at the same time, it probably doesn't feel good.
I see. He's coming to the defense of the federal government. Okay, sure. Why not? Why the fuck not? Here's his video where he actually looks at the Alex Preddy thing. Let's see what's going on there. Let's see what's going on there.
In the wrong. It's not even a question whether they're in the wrong or not. Yeah, it's very fair. Yeah, I'm being completely fair about this. I think that, like, in general, like, I've always said this. Obviously, police make mistakes. 100% police are going to make mistakes. By the way, like, I'm not tied to the idea that the police never make mistakes or they never do anything wrong. And if this is an instance of it, there has to be accountability. There does. It's not even a question. It's sure, like, I mean, the only thing is that, like, if I look at this and I zoom in on it, right? And we're going to enhance. We're going to enhance massively. Man, I mean, like, that looks a lot like the other gun. It does. It looks a lot like it.
Now, I understand. Now, hold on. So, where is he actually going? Is he just trying to do the whole, like, ICE made mistakes?
And he has the gun. You would logically assume that he just picked up the guy's gun, especially whenever usually somebody has a gun that's on their side, right? And that's kind of where he reached. Don't get into a physical altercation with a federal agent holding a weapon, you won't get shot. It's a huge mistake to do that. I totally agree. He's totally in the wrong for doing that. But I think that this is...
But he didn't fucking do that, Asmon! Now, I recognize I'm not looking at the entirety of your video because I try not to watch a lot of road shit. But he didn't do that. Now, maybe some Asmongold fan can come and tell me later that actually his opinion was far more nuanced than that, and that realistically, that's not what he believes, but I can't. I just can't. I don't know if that's where he's going. I don't. So, I guess if you were a fan of Asmongold and somehow also a fan of my channel, feel free to correct me. But I feel kind of grossed out just watching that there. Ugh. Let's see what he says.
Okay, and so I'll pull it aside and I'll watch it so I can see if it's actually TOS or not. He does have the gun for sure. Absolutely 100% that's the gun. Is that the same gun?
Okay, so he's
That
talking
is the
about
gun,
the ICE officer
100%.
who stole the gun. Okay.
And then they shoot him. If they disarm this guy, I'm gonna be honest. If they disarm this guy and then they shot him, yeah, they executed him. It looks like they pulled his shirt up.
Okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna have this as an addendum to the previous video, or to see if K-Fox wants to cut things around. I never want to feel like I am just dogpiling on a person because I think they're a piece of shit. I do think Asmon's a piece of shit generally, but he is not incorrect here. He actually did have his broken clock moment. Dude got disarmed. If he's been disarmed, then that's just an execution. It's just an execution, hands down. Okay. Hey, you made it to the end. I want to give an extra thanks to the patrons who allow me to do this full time. I want to thank Aaron Rail, Astral, Britzkrieg, Jemshin, Poundini, Red Joker, Victoria, Jonas, Craig, Tarika, Fireshard, Smiling GM, John, Dren Hadamada, Creeper, Sagitta, you know I'm not saying that last part, Valis of Seraph, Ottoman Angel, Rooster Rachel, and Fire Panda, who are all my $20 and up patrons.